We did it after weeks of analysis, after thousands of hours of computing, after collaboration between dozens of institutions around the world. We decoded the 3I Atlas radio signal, and what it said changed everything we thought we understood about this object, about first contact, and about humanity's place in the universe. Let me start with the conclusion because it was an important signal. 3I Atlas not only observed us, it not only transmitted through the decoded message confirming that this was a probe operating on a specific mission and that Earth was the mission, we were the target. We were the subject, and the message told us exactly why we were chosen and what would happen next. The unexpected turn in the journey to decode the mysterious signal came from an unexpected source. A research team at the Max Planck Institute for Radio Astronomy, Germany, collaborated with mathematicians at MIT, opening up a completely new approach. They did not see this signal as a language that needed to be translated, but as a mathematical structure that needed to be interpreted. It was this change in perspective that became the key that helped them get closer to the secret hidden behind the signal. Instead of searching for words, they searched for patterns that went beyond the limits of language rules that could reflect the logic of an extraterrestrial knowledge. In particular, the sequence of 37 pulses in the signal was not random. The number 37, which is a prime number, but more specifically, the 12th prime number, was the first clue to be decoded. The researcher suggests that the use of prime numbers could be a form of universal mathematical language that an advanced civilization has chosen to communicate across space. The message prime number 12 may be hiding an important clue. Is it talking about the 12th degree, the 12th period, or the 12th place in a system unknown to humans? Theories have run wild, from the possibility that the signal is intentional to speculation that we are dealing with a form of cosmic coding, a sign of intelligence from somewhere beyond human understanding. The duration of each pulse in the signal is 2 seconds, which at first seemed random until the researchers realized it was measured by the oscillation period of the hydrogen. Radiation line at 1,420 megahertz, the universal signature in radio astronomy every 2 seconds is equivalent to 3 billion hydrogen cycles. And the interval between pulses is 15.7 seconds or 22.4 billion cycles, which are entirely intentional. The ratio between the two values is 7e, which coincides with 7.5 billion years. The age of Earth when multicellular life emerged, according to Dr. Elena Vasquez of MIT. This cannot be a coincidence. They are referencing directly to the biological history of Earth. This suggests they understand the evolutionary process of life. Here, further analysis revealed that the increasing frequency of each pulse encoded fundamental physical constants of the universe, including the fine structure constant, the electron-to-proton mass ratio, and the ratio of the electromagnetic force to gravity, which determined the conditions for life to exist. This was a scientific message that represented universal wisdom and understanding. The breakthrough came when Dr. Michael Chen at Caltech decoded the amplitude variation, creating a three-dimensional map of the galactic region within a radius of 5,000 light-years. It contained 12 G-type star systems, of which the Sun was one, all with Earth-like planets that could support life. Astronomical data showed that these 12 systems were connected as if they belonged to an interstellar network. Earth is the 12th system in the catalog of habitable worlds that 3 Atlas is currently examining. The signal also contains time information encoding the Earth's evolutionary milestones from the first life 3.8 billion years ago to photosynthesis. 2.4 billion years ago, the Cambrian explosion. 540 million years ago, the extinction of dinosaurs. 66 million years ago, the emergence of Homo sapiens. 300 years ago, in the agricultural revolution. 10,000 years ago. The final milestone is 1045 when humans detonated their first nuclear weapon, a sign that humanity had crossed the threshold of technological evolution and officially entered their surveillance. This discovery reinforces one thing. We are not alone. Earth is just one link in a map of 12 living worlds, and perhaps some civilization has been monitoring us for billions of years. The final part of the message is the most direct but also the most controversial. It contains precise spatial and temporal coordinates encoded down to the minute. The designated point is located 13 astronomical units from the sun slightly off Earth's orbit, and 18 months from now, this could be a promise of varying or just an observational instruction. While the meaning is unclear, the scientific community agrees that an important event will take place there, according to Dr. James Robertson, JPL. At that time, Earth will be only about 0.4 astronomical units away from this location, close enough for observation and radio communication. This is the ideal location for a targeted contact. The biggest question, what will come? A probe, a larger object, or just a test signal. It is also possible that we are misinterpreting it because we do not have the theoretical framework to fully decipher it. NASA confirmed that the signal contains mathematical constants, astronomical data, and precise time coordinates, but remain cautious, not speculating about its purpose. Observatories around the world are now focused on this coordinate, preparing for the possibility of a first meeting between two civilizations, or an event humanity is not yet ready for. Meanwhile, closed-door meetings between scientists, defense, and intelligence officials are taking place. One side wants to proactively respond, seeing this as a historic opportunity to establish contact, while the other side warns to keep quiet and observe, avoiding revealing more about technology or Earth's location. The involvement of military and intelligence agencies complicates matters. Many strategic models are being simulated. What if an object really appears? If it possesses technology far beyond that of humanity, what will be the global security consequences in a tense geopolitical context if just one country makes contact earlier? The world's balance of power could change forever. And the quietest worry remains unspoken. Are we the only ones they want to meet? The international dimension of this issue is becoming crucial. The message is clearly not addressed to any one country, but to all of humanity. However, the harsh reality is that we do not have a global governance mechanism strong enough to coordinate a response to an event as existential and historic as first contact. In theory, the UN has frameworks for dealing with extraterrestrial phenomena in the COPOS document. But in practice, implementing them in a context of geopolitical tensions and overlapping national interests is almost impossible. The leading space powers, the US, China, Russia, the EU, India, and Japan, have all independently deciphered the signals or have access to joint analysis data through secret scientific channels. Each country claims to contribute to the response of humanity. But behind these statements lie separate and sometimes opposing strategies. Some governments and international organizations call for a global cooperative approach with the goal of forming a unified response in the name of humanity, coordinated by the United Nations. However, many other countries choose to keep their options open, not ruling out contact or a unilateral response if they believe the opportunities or risks from this meeting directly affect their security or strategic position. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, diplomacy is boiling. Secret negotiations between NASA, CNC, ISA, and Roscosmos are taking place in a flurry with the goal of establishing a temporary data-sharing channel. But trust between the parties is as fragile as a thread. Each country understands that whoever has the first contact will likely hold the advantage, not only in technology, but also in global political power. Amid all these calculations, the biggest question still hangs in the air. Will humanity be united enough to face what is coming? Or will we enter our first contact in space history with a world more divided than ever? To understand the meaning and purpose of the message, it is important to analyze each deciphered part, because how we interpret it will determine how humanity responds. First of all, the catalog number 12 shows that Earth is the 12th civilization in their survey of the nearby galactic region within a range of about 500 light-years. This means that at least 11 other star systems have been or are being surveyed in parallel. The fact that we are included in this catalog proves that Earth meets certain criteria. G-type star system, Earth-like planet in the habitable zone, complex life and developing technology. If true, there could be at least 12 technological civilizations in this region, and perhaps more beyond the survey range. The evolutionary timeline suggests they've been monitoring Earth for billions of years. possibly visiting periodically to record the development of life from single-celled organisms to photosynthesis multi-cellular animals, primates, and finally technological civilization. This demonstrates that they understand the laws of evolution, perhaps having observed it on many other worlds, and view Earth as a typical case in the model of life development. The coding of physical constants suggests that they share the same scientific foundation as us. Determining values such as a fine structure, constant, or the electron-to-proton mass ratio both demonstrates the universality of natural laws and establishes a common system of measurement for communication. This level of precision demonstrates an extremely high level of technology, confirming that this is an intentional message and not a natural phenomenon. Finally, the galactic map shows 12 star systems within 5,000 light-years, some of which have been confirmed to have exoplanets in their habitable zones. The big question is, do the remaining 11 have life or technological civilizations? And do they know about each other? It could be that this is a network of civilizations being surveyed and Earth has just reached the threshold to be recognized. If so, the message is not just a greeting, but an invitation to join, a sign that we have officially been added to the map of intelligent civilizations in the universe. The Global Communications Coordination Meeting is becoming the focus of all efforts, as the final part of the message is considered the most actionable, but also the most controversial accord in space in a specific time 18 months from now. The big question is, what are they telling us? The optimistic interpretation is that this is an invitation to meet, that a probe or larger ship will appear at that location, and humanity has a choice of how to respond to meet, observe, or remain silent. Conversely, the cautious interpretation sees this as a warning that an important event is about to occur at these coordinates for us to prepare or stay away. However, the most worrying hypothesis is that this is a test. They may be observing our reaction. Whether humanity will cooperate or divide, calm or fear, how we behave may be the data they want to collect to assess humanity's readiness for first contact. The 18-month mark seems carefully calculated, long enough to prepare, but not long enough to change the nature or capabilities of humanity. Perhaps they want to meet us in our truest imperfect, but honest. Remarkably, the message contains no greeting, no explicit request, no explicit instructions. It doesn't say who they are, where they're from, or what they want. Just the implication. We've been watching, and we're ready for the next step. This ambiguity could be a respect for autonomy or a subtle test, because how we respond to the unknown can say everything about our species. The process of decoding the message was an unprecedented technical feat requiring the collaboration of many fields: radio astronomy, mathematics, information theory, cryptography, linguistics, and even evolutionary biology. Dr. Vasquez's team at MIT used number theory and pattern recognition algorithms, testing thousands of encoding schemes before finding a structure that made mathematical sense. Dr. Chen's team at Caltech continued to solve sections of the wave spectrum, identifying physical relationships that match known constants. When the values matched, they knew the decoding direction was correct. The astronomical map was reconstructed, using the phase relationships between the signal components. And when everything was referenced to the hydrogen line cycle, the historical timelines of the Earth automatically appeared to coincide perfectly with major evolutionary stages, confirming the correct interpretation. Currently, international response strategies are being considered. The first, a proactive response sending messages to designated coordinates, acknowledging receipt and decoding, sharing data about humanity, science, and culture. This approach demonstrates goodwill, but risks revealing too much and does not guarantee a positive response. The second option, passive observation. Mobilize global telescopes to monitor the location for months before the scheduled time. Collect data before deciding, but may be seen as fearful or hostile. The third option, physical presence, send a manned or robotic craft to the rendezvous point, demonstrate capability and commitment to communication. But the technical risks, costs, and misunderstandings are huge. The final option, coordinated preparation. Use the 18 months to educate the public. Agree on international protocols and prepare the social psychology. Then wait for observations before acting despite the time crunch. This is considered the most balanced and safest option. The most feasible recommendation is to combine passive observation with intensive preparation. Use the 18 months to continuously monitor the designated coordinates, coordinate internationally, prepare scientific instruments, disseminate information to the public, and develop response scenarios for all situations. As events unfold, our response will be based on reality. If there is a clear opportunity for peace, engage. If there are signs of danger, keep your distance. If there is ambiguity, continue to observe and analyze. There are 17 months to go before the scheduled date. Major space agencies have marked their calendars. Research institutes are preparing their observations, and diplomatic channels are negotiating the creation of an international coordinating committee. Every optical, radio, infrared, and other spectroscopic telescope will be pointed at this spot, creating the most comprehensive set of observations in history. The implications of the message are profound scientifically. It confirms the SETI hypothesis that technological civilizations exist and can communicate philosophically. It forces humans to reconsider their place as humans, no longer at the center, but as part of the web of life in the universe. Politically, it demands global coordination for which the current system is not yet ready. Psychologically, it both humbles and makes us proud to have been registered on the map of the universe. But the uncertainty is huge. We don't know who, or what will show up, what they want, or how they will communicate. There may be layers of information in the signal that are yet to be decoded, so the next 18 months are not just about preparing for the observation, but also about racing to analyze the original message more deeply to ensure we don't miss any clues before the appointed moment based on all the decoded data. I believe that the message from 3 Atlas can be understood as a direct statement from them, and if reinterpreted in human language, it could be conveyed like this. We are an autonomous probe sent by an advanced civilization to survey and catalog habitable planets in this region of the galaxy. We have been monitoring Earth for billions of years through periodic visits, recording the entire evolution of life from simple organisms to more complex forms, and finally to technological civilization. You are the 12th world in our survey area. Your development has surpassed the limits of biological evolution and reached technological capabilities. Mastering nuclear power, emitting radio signals, and initiating space travel. We have recorded your history, biology, technical level, and electromagnetic signature.